Hi everyone. I wanted to read to you the first chapter in the Nanaimo Bar Christmas Mystery. It's like a prelude to a series I'm working on called the Anna Maple Cozy Mysteries. It's a Canadian cozy mystery set in the Pacific Northwest, and it's got full of mature characters, and it's written for a mature audience. Now, some people would call that geezer lit, others might call it granny lit. I prefer the word mature. So without further ado, I'm going to read you the first chapter, which I kind of like this chapter. Oh, and I should mention, the book is dedicated to, let's see how I can put him right in there. Whoa, Winston, my poodle. There we go. Chapter 1, Love is a Mystery. Tonight, Jean-Claude will propose to me, and I will have everything I ever wanted. Anna rushed to meet him at the door. This will be the best Christmas ever. Winston, her black miniature poodle, tilted his head. Jean is everything I've ever dreamed of, she continued. Handsome, charming, and rich to boot. I know he's not your favorite person, but you'll grow to love him. Or, at least, I hope you'll stop peeing on his shoe. Winston groaned. The moment Jean-Claude stepped into the room, Anna's heart stopped. He had a ruggedly handsome face with a powerful jaw and denim blue eyes to die for. How could such a debonair silver fox be interested in her, a 60-year-old retired nurse with gray hair and a Buddha belly? He held the door open for her. Shall we leave, my love? He spoke in perfect English, with a slight French accent that melted her insides. I'm sorry, I can't do a French accent. I won't even try. The scent of his spicy aftershave embraced her as she walked past him. Outside, a cold December rainstorm blew in from the Pacific and battered their coastal town with relentless fury. She held her purse over her hair as they ran to his sports car and climbed in. When they got to the fancy restaurant, Jean-Claude parked close to the door, but they still had a bit more to walk to get into the entrance. He opened a black umbrella and held it over the two of them as he ushered her outside of the car. As they approached the entrance, a gust of wind blew the umbrella inside out, and a torrent of rain hit Anna's $200 updo. She could taste hairspray dripping into her mouth. So sorry, my darling, he whispered in her ear. It's just hair, she told herself, and she plastered a smile on her face. That's when she felt the lashes on her left eye droop. Oh, good grief. How had they come loose? Anna never wore falsies, but a couple hours ago her best friend Lucy talked her into them. And add some spice to your life, she had said. You look glamorous, she said. Everyone wears them, she said. Even Oprah. The spicy bits of glamour now sagged so low they cut Anna's vision in half. She bit her bottom lip. Maybe they just needed a nudge to get them back in place. The restaurant's hostess, a slender young woman wearing a black dress, led them to a small table covered in a linen tablecloth. In the middle sat a holiday centerpiece, pine cones, strands of holly, and cedar greenery folded around a circular white candle that gave off a Christmas scent. There were 20 people sitting at tables around them. While rain pelted on the window panes and thunder rumbled in the distance, the room felt cozy. The weight of her droopy eyelashes worried Anna. Lucy had poured a lot of glue on her eyelid. Surely they wouldn't fall off. As Jean-Claude picked up the wine list, she timidly felt along her eyelid. The string of lashes felt loose on one side. Anna gave them a little tug, but they stayed in place. She glanced up at Jean-Claude, hoping he didn't notice her eye problem. He was busy studying the menu. Noticing a drop of water in his lapel, Anna leaned across the table to swipe at it. Halfway across the space, her loose lashes fell off. Anna's breath caught in her throat as she watched her lashes descend like a skydiving spider into a puddle of liquid wax on the top of the candle. A knot formed in Anna's stomach. This couldn't be happening. Not tonight. She watched in horror as the lashes appeared to be swimming in the molten wax. She reached for them, Her fingers burned. She bit back a cry and quickly pulled her hand back. Jean-Claude gazed at her. I am sorry about your hair getting wet, but you do still look quite lovely. Anna smiled. Some day, after they were married, she would tell him about her lashes, and they would laugh about it together. But tonight was all about things being perfect, the perfect beginning for their perfect life together. I'm thinking champagne, Jean-Claude said. Do you have a favorite? You choose. She told herself to get a grip, but her fingertips hurt, and that was not part of the plan. Jean-Claude put down the wine list. Do you smell something funny? No, lied Anna. Something's burning, he stiffened as he sniffed. Anna shrugged. I'm sure they won't serve it. She glanced down. Her lashes floated closer and closer into the flame. It smells, he sniffed again, like plastic. I hope there isn't a fire in the kitchen. He stood. I should pull the fire alarm. Anna grabbed his arm. I'm sure it's fine, dear. Jean-Claude folded his tall body back into the chair. A heavy-set young man with a goatee, wearing an ill-fitted black suit, arrived at their table. Good evening. I'm Stanley, your server for tonight. After rambling off the evening specials, he took their orders and left. The bubbly came first. Jean-Claude lifted his champagne glass to make a toast. Anna held her breath, fully expecting this to be a wedding proposal, or at the very least a proclamation of his undying love for her. Before he could say a word, a shot rang through the air, and a streak of lightning lit up the room. Anna gasped. She gazed around at the other patrons. Everyone looked shocked. Sorry, called Stanley from the other side of the room with a sheepish grin. The bubbly is feisty tonight. Could this be a bad omen? Anna tucked a wet strand of hair behind her ear. After a few chuckles, the warm murmur of friendly conversation returned to the room. Jean-Claude took a gulp of his champagne. Not bad, he said. He gulped it. Anna closed her eyes to regain her composure. After a moment, she said, I thought you were making a toast. Oh, yeah, I was. The pop of the champagne cork took the words right out of my mouth, he chuckled. She had enjoyed the sound of his laughter prior to this moment. Jean-Claude's deep, baritone voice had the resonance of maturity that played her heartstrings like a violinist. But tonight, its melody lacked stamina. It sounded like a favorite song played too many times, and it grated on her nerves. Anna straightened her back and raised her glass to make her own toast. I was born when you first kissed me. It was a line from a Bogart movie they had watched together. We'll always have Nanaimo, he said in response. On point, she thought, but cold. Colder than the winter wind rolling off the Salish Sea. As she sat across the table from Jean-Claude, staring into his dazzling blue eyes, she felt her dreams collapsing, one on top of the other, as if they were a wooden scaffold infested with hungry mutant termites. Is something wrong? Jean-Claude asked. No, everything's fine. Jean-Claude shifted in his seat. I wonder what's taking the server so long. As if on cue, Stanley arrived with appetizers, a lobster tail for Jean-Claude, and shrimp salad for Anna. Diana Krall's sultry voice played over the speakers. After the first bite, Anna sighed. This is so delicious, Jean. It's truly worthy of our 3-month anniversary. Busy wolfing down his food, he didn't respond. Butter trickled from the left corner of his mouth. The knot in Anna's stomach tightened. She could barely eat. When the bill arrived, Jean-Claude opened his soft leather wallet and groaned. Oh, my credit card is missing. At just that moment, Sally Evans, the town's biggest gossip, walked by Anna and Jean-Claude's table. She tisked loudly, and the sound speared Anna's heart. Her cheeks burned as she fetched money out of her purse for Stanley, who stood vigilant beside the table with his right brow raised. Maybe bad omens are real, she mused, but that begged the question, what would happen next? Well, lots happens next. And at the end of the book, there are recipes for the Nanaimo Bar. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. It was fun to write. I kept imagining this woman trying to impress a man because basically she wants somebody to take to bridge games. And things go all wrong. Oops, I'm losing my lighting here. And that's it for today. See you next time.